Lagos lawmakers speak as Nigeria's President Buhari returns from medical vacation. Lagos Cooperative College sets to award certificates to trainees as lawmakers meet minds with stakeholders on proposed bill. We will also be focusing on the significance of the much talked about bill to boost the economic growth of the state. We have details coming up.
It's always a delight to have you join us on Lagos Parliament. This is where you get to see reports of the daily business of lawmaking by Lagos lawmakers. I'm a regular host, Abimbola Agbebi. Now, last week, our focus was on the efforts of the Lagos State House of Assembly geared towards the promotion and the sustenance of Yoruba language across public and private schools in the state. Well, this week we'll be shifting our attention to another burning issue that has to do with a bill that is expected to give Lagos economy a leap. But just before I let you into that, President Buhari is back from his medical vacation in the UK. Now, this cheering news elicited these reactions from Lagos lawmakers.
Get closer to your legislators. See them in action as they deliberate on moving the state forward. Watch updates on weekly events, presentation of bills, passage of laws, adoption of resolutions, and many more. Also, get a chance to meet the lawmaker of the week and watch the legislators observe plenary in Yoruba language. Lagos Parliament, every Thursday 7:30 p.m. and Sunday 11 a.m. respectively on TVC News Nigeria and TVC Entertainment. Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislators closer to you.
I'm very happy. We thank God for sparing our president. We thank God for returning our president to us. We thank those who have taken care of our president while he was away. We also thank people who had fought for our president while he was away, most especially the vice president. Nigerians are happy. I'm also happy. At least it's coming back as giving us hope. It has given us confidence and assurance that, well, Mr. President is back and there's going to be turnaround of everything. You talk about the economy, you talk about the security, you talk about so many things. So I believe it's coming back as re-energized the system somehow. And I'm sure more development will start happening now.
Those who are yearning for Biafran Republic, those who are calling for separatist agenda should shed their sword. It shows it's conversant with what is going on in the country when he was away. It shows that it's committed to the genuine interests of Nigeria. He also talked about the Fulani herdsmen and the farmers who are disrupting, which is a new phase of generating interest. As a Fulani man, he addressed it that every Nigerian can live in any part of the country, provided that it's a Nigerian. So there is no basis to say somebody is from southwestern Nigeria, the person cannot live in the north central or northeast or northwest of the country. So this shows its genuineness.
This administration from day one has been doing very well. The rot of 17 years, 16 years cannot be collected in 1 or 2 years. So definitely this administration has been doing well. Let's take politics out of this. If we love this country as much as we are all claiming to be, if we know that we want this country to progress, if we claim that we want this country to be one of the best in the world, let's take politics out of this. Let's look at what are the things we need to do to move this country forward. Those are the things we should be looking at now. What has been left unattended to before he came back, let's attend to it. But the Vice President has done a wonderful job, has done a beautiful job. So for me, it's just for him to continue where the man has stopped. And let's move the country forward.
Well, it's gratifying and it's heartwarming that the President made it back from that medical tourism. He spoke brilliantly, he spoke well, and many people have spoken about the brevity of the speech and also the content. people had expected that maybe, the president was going to address economic the issues of economy, issues of restructuring, devolution of powers and all of that. But I want to say that the president attacked the most fundamental function of his office, which he spoke to the issue of security, internal cohesion and integration. That means he will foster our unity. When he fosters the unity, there will be peace. And once there is peace, there will be progress, because no well-meaning, discerning investor will put his money where there will be no peace. So peace is peace is a kind of bedrock for everything that we can call progress. So the president has done so well.
You look at him as the symbol of this administration. His presence is going to really do a lot. We should give kudos to the vice president in his absence. He has done a lot, right? But I know that he's coming back now. We bring about a lot of changes. Within shortest time, we should be able to get many things running with or without him around.
Here's a man who is committed to working assiduously to make sure that the Nigerian economy is back to its stable grounds, and the corruption situation takes a different positive toll on our nation as a whole, for the benefit of the people. Even our national leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, over the weekend described his return as a very decent one and a very proper one, in this fact that at least he can continue the good job that he has actually started. Because as far as I'm concerned, the peace that we need in our nation is beginning to be felt one way or the other in all crannies of the country.
We say congratulations to the president and indeed Nigerians. And talks have been going on for a while now on a bill proposed by the executive arm of government, which is presently before the lawmakers for approval. It's a bill for a law to establish a cooperative college in Lagos. It is believed that the bill will boost the economic status of the state, among others. Let's show you recent proceedings of the House on the proposed bill.
Right, Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable members, with your kind permission, it is my honor to read for the second time a bill for a law to establish the Lagos State Cooperative College and for other connected matters.
The Lagos State Cooperative College Bill seeks to support the establishment of cooperative college in Lagos State.
The school is in existence, but there are supposed to be legality because if there is no legal framework to support, obviously it will not make it to be appealing, feasible, and acceptable to many, especially in Nigeria of today, that in Lagos State we are preaching spreading of wealth, especially among the entrepreneurs. And we know world over, even South Korea, it is a private-driven economy.
If you go to any school and the school is not accredited and you have a certificate, it's not going to be useful. So, and I think with this one now, it's going to really give them some legal backup.
Section 6, it talks about the appointment and tenure of the office, so suggesting to have 2 terms. I think in other high institutions we also have 1 single term. We should also look into this as well.
There is need to strengthen it and give it the framework to make it work more effectively. So we have to also commend the vision that created it and the service it has rendered to the state. With this, Mr. Speaker, I wish to say that the bill is a very good one, and as said by my other colleagues, we should go ahead to pass it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
A lot to establish Lagos State Cooperative College and for other connected matters is hereby committed to House Committee on Commerce and Industry and to report back in 2 weeks. Thank you.
At a one-day stakeholders meeting organized by the House Committee on Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives, opinions were sought on the bill and what it seeks to achieve.
The bill in question is timely as it aims to regulate the activities of cooperative societies existing in the states. Thank you. Therefore, I wish to enjoin every stakeholder here present to come up with the submissions that can assist the committee and the House, by extension without fear of intimidation. I also wish to assure you that every opinion expressed shall be taken into cognizance in the course of consideration of the bill. I wish you a fruitful deliberation. Thank you.
I want you to duly consider that if the cooperative organization to send members there, to be easy for them, or if individuals or cooperative societies want to attend the school fees will not disappoint them.
It is in the public domain that Islamic Development Bank just recently provided interest-free loan to some states in Nigeria. For these and other reasons, we hereby propose the inclusion of Islamic finance mechanism in the mandate of the proposed college. Cooperative system the world over is reputed for its benefit to humanity from history.
Section 29 is omitted on the bill. I don't know if it's deliberate or an omission. Thank you.
The college, from my own understanding, has been in existence for a few years, but there is no statute of the state to regulate its proceedings. And for a college of that magnitude, we thought it fit that there should be a law that will regulate the governance and functions of this house. This really will make sure that all cooperators or functionaries that you will train will have certificate that they can work with in every other area, either in the state or the service of the federation.
Is the reason why a legal framework has to be properly put in place to achieve this. And we have to commend the vision of the Lagos State government for establishing that college with a view to improving the performance of trustees of cooperative societies as well as the bookkeepers.
I want to appreciate the state government for this. We have been part of the bill. We have made our own inputs, and of course, before it is finally signed into law, if we still have, we want to assure you that we'll pass through the normal process and intimate you on this.
Get closer to your legislators. See them in action as they deliberate on moving the state forward. Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislators closer to you.
And joining us to talk about the bill which is presently before the Lagos State House of Assembly, a bill for a law to establish a cooperative college in Lagos State and for connected matters, as the Chairman House Committee on Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives, Honorable Oladele Adekoyi is also the lawmaker representing Lagos Mainland Constituency 1 in the State Parliament. Let's go on this timeout, and when we come back, the discussions will begin.
Watch updates on weekly events, presentation of bills, passage of laws, adoption of resolutions, and many more. Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislators closer to you.
It's nice to have you on the show, sir.
You are most welcome, as always.
All right, so quickly, let's talk about this bill, a bill for a law to establish a cooperative college in Lagos State and for connected matters. What exactly do we need to know about this bill? What does it seek to achieve, really?
Maybe the starting point should be for me to tell you that, as well know, history of cooperative societies could be said to be as old as the country itself. You know, people have always come together at the private levels, you know, community to communities, to come together, identifying common goal, you know, and seeing how they can promote their economic interest in the process. To be sure, cooperative college in this instance in Lagos State has been in existence for the past 5 or 6 years. Around 2012 to be specific, during the time of the previous immediate past administration in Lagos State under the leadership of former Governor Raji Fashola. But what had been absent, really, which one can say is an anomaly, was the fact that despite the fact that the school was established as far back as that time, there had not been the statute, the corresponding or concomitant statute that should support from the legal point of view. Maybe I should say, even for allowing more people to understand what we are saying, it has not been unfounded before now that cooperative societies in their operations, they will have crises, they will have fraud associated with their activities, and there will be disaffection among members. A lot of times, we have received not a few petitions, even from among cooperators, about certain untoward, actions, being perpetrated by their fellow members or secretaries or bookkeepers of the cooperative society.
So having a college where they'll be trained.
So we have discovered that it's not only when people are, minded to be fraudulent that we have issues amongst cooperators. Sometimes ignorance, not having the right knowledge, sometimes also affects operations of some of these cooperative societies. So it is our own belief that when we support, as we have now chosen to support, the already established school by formalizing the arrangement, correcting the anomaly, it will, embolden even more Lagosians or residents of Lagos to be partakers in the activities of these cooperative.
No, I'm sorry to interject. You just talked about having cases, fraudulent practices that have been reported by members of most cooperative societies in the past. Some cooperative societies in the past. Now, does this bill really address this?
Well, indirectly, it does address it. How? Because as you train, like I just told you, fraud is not the only case, you understand, that we have had to contend with. We have discovered in some cases that the fraud that has been associated with the operations of some cooperative societies is not actually something that is intended, maybe because of carelessness. So there are some obvious cases that fraud are actually, what had been responsible for petitions that we have been receiving. But I am saying that in some other cases, not that they deliberately wanted to defraud themselves, but because they were not properly trained, we have had issues among them. So at least to take care of such, so that we will not be contending with people that are half trained or that do not go through that kind of college where intensive training will be undergone. You understand? And then that will, at the end of the day, make them to be masters of their act.
Now, early this year, sir, a certain directive was issued by the federal government to all states of the federation with regards to the need for them to have cooperative colleges established within their state. Could we then say that this is the reason Lagos is coming up with this?
Well, Lagos on its own, because like I said, this cooperative college that we're talking about is not as if we are just starting it now. So it cannot be said that we are reacting to such announcement or suggestion by the federal government. That is not to say that we are totally unconnected with what activities the federal government is operating. But we are saying as per Lagos State, we are already on it. We have been on it before now. We just want to ensure that the arrangement is more formalized.
All right, talking about this 59 paragraph bill, which was discussed at the one-day stakeholders meeting organized by your committee. I was at the stakeholders meeting. I can remember that one of the participants made mention of the need to have some kind of Islamic content introduced into the curriculum. How would you react to this, sir?
Well, I want, while I appreciate, that's why we went out to ask them to come so that we can have their input. But I would not want to, as it were, preempt the final resolution with regards to this request of the entire Lagos State Assembly. The members of the public are free, to come and express their opinion. So I will wait and will put it across to the other members as it has been requested. And I hope at the end of the day, the best that will serve the interests of Lagos and Lagosians will be agreed upon with regards to this request.
So principally, how would this boost the state economy? I want to know.
You mean the bill?
Yes.
Well, just to do cooperators generally, by the nature of their, operation, needless to say, they boost economy almost naturally. Actually, these days that we can say it's very hard. For example, they provide employment as well now. And even with the establishment of the college, people that have just left secondary school can even choose to make a career, because it will be a full-fledged university college sort of that will be awarding degrees, for example. So, ab initio, if this is completely, agreed upon, like we are likely to agree upon at the end of the day, students, prospective students can take advantage of it and then explore this area on their own, ultimately leading to the boosting of the economy of this community and ultimately the state as a whole. So I think it is a given that it would lead naturally to improvement in the economy of a given setting, whether at the community level or at the state, even at national level too. So I have no doubt in my mind that this effort by the state government, because to start with is an executive bill, which we have embraced as a Lagos State Assembly, is going to go a long way in helping. And we must also praise the Lagos State government for, putting on their thinking cap in this regard, like they have done in many other areas too, in ensuring that this is done and it is done right now.
So if I may ask, what is your general appraisal of stakeholders meeting on this particular bill from what you have seen or you've heard at the stakeholders meeting held on this bill?
Well, I think I am happy, I'm excited, I'm impressed by, to start with, the turnout. And so people that contributed, we appreciate their contributions. And those that never said anything, it is not as if they have nothing to say. But ordinarily, looking at the bill, it's a very straightforward bill that almost all have been looking towards us.
There was no reason for them to criticize it.
So not much criticism, actually followed in the process of trying to have the public hearing today. And it's understandable. It's innocuous, it's going to ensure development, and I think it's neat and tidy the way it has been put together. So I think that was responsible for, not having many people bothering themselves with questions, other than thanking the Lagos State Assembly for at least taking up this challenge at this material point in time. So generally, I am impressed, and I'm very hopeful that, like I said, in no time, the bill will become law very soon. The bill is a wholesome one. So to start with, cooperative societies, I encourage wherever they are existing to get registered, and I think that will make it easy for them to partake in this noble venture of at least taking advantage of opportunities in the college. So I am not saying that, basically they will not have the opportunity, but it will enhance their chance of being favorably considered. That's what I will say for now.
What will happen in a case or a situation whereby a particular cooperative society decide not to get registered, like you just said?
Since it is a lot of the Lagos State government, especially through the cooperative group within the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, stakeholders generally, to encourage all others that are not in their net yet, and to let them understand the advantages that will accrue necessarily from being members. I do not think that those that are outside before now will have much difficulty in embracing, getting registered. So my appeal to them is just, if they didn't know about it before, we are making it known to them that a full-fledged, college, that has been in the system before, but had some K-legs, sort of, at least from the perspective of not having the law to support it, it's been taken care of now. Let them come and take maximum advantage.
But we've had cases in some cooperative societies where losses are incurred. Is there any aspect of this law that takes care of that?
Of course.
Owing to certain activities, losses are incurred.
Well, I want to believe that that is part of what we are trying to cure. That is not to say that it will never happen again. Such losses that you have described, at the best of times and in the best of conditions too, it does happen. Businesses generally, are not without their own risks that are involved. But at least it will be minimized once you master what ideally should be the way to go about operating cooperative societies, with the college promises for all
So what this bill seeks to achieve really through the establishment of the college is to train corporators on how best to carry out their activities. Exactly. All right, thank you so much for coming on the program, sir. On a final note, what would your chat be to corporators out there and those who are planning to be members of various cooperative societies and, of course, would like to be partakers of what the Lagos State government is planning with the establishment of the cooperative college?
Well, again, this is almost self-explanatory too. I'm happy, I'm excited that this time around, just like I said, like it happens in many other sectors that the Lagos State has been leading, we have resolved to take the bull by the horn, and the normal thing is being done.
And if I may ask, when is this bill likely to become a law?
Well, I can only say by the grace of God, soonest. So I am sure by virtue of the fact that we are always diligent and willing to do our work at the right time, it should not be too long. But as to when exactly, there are other variables that will come in. But I can assure Lagosians that it will soon see the light of the day.
Wow, that's very encouraging. Thank you so much once again for coming on the program, sir. And I've been chatting with the Chairman House Committee on Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives. And we've been talking about an executive bill before the lawmakers, which is expected to establish a cooperative college in Lagos State. The bill is presently being handled by the House Committee on Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives. Thank you so much for coming once again, sir.
It is my pleasure. You're always welcome.
All right, and the program continues shortly. Please stay with us.
Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislators closer to you.
And with that, it's a wrap on this week's episode of Lagos Parliament. We thank you for staying with us. Till I see you again next week. Remember, you can watch previous episodes of Lagos Parliament on www.youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Abimbola Agbebi. Bye for now.